Kim Keys, and I'm coming from just outside of Washington, D.C. in the state of Maryland. I'm going to discuss a new line of dolls that Mattel has recently released, but here are a few things that I want to say first before I go on talking about dolls. In the past, I've done the occasional toy review for this channel. It was basically based on finding a toy that really interested me to the point where I thought doing a video of it would be a good idea. I never intended my Sagittarius Dolly channel to be strictly a toy review channel, mainly because as a smaller channel, I don't have toy manufacturers sending me the toys to review, unlike the more popular channels like My Froggy Stuff or Ryan's World. I have to buy my own toys if I want to review them. On top of it, I don't live in a large place, so storing the toys that I finished reviewing would be a major challenge. Last fall, YouTube got into major trouble with the Federal Trade Commission for targeting ads to children under 13, which was a violation of the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, also known as COPPA. And YouTube had to pay a record $170 million settlement. As a result, YouTube has announced a policy change for all content creators, myself included, regardless of whether they are based in the United States or not. From now on, we must specify whether an individual video is aimed at children or not. Videos that are aimed at children will have their comments disabled with no ads, so creators won't be able to share an ad revenue. If we mislabel an ad as not being for children and the Federal Trade Commission disagrees, then we, the creators, could pay hefty fees of up to $42,000. What's more, if a certain channel gets enough of its videos classified as being for children, the online channel could be designated as a children's channel, which means that comments will be permanently disabled and there is no chance of making any kind of monetization through YouTube, no matter how popular a channel gets. I have never created the Sagittarius Dolly channel with children in mind, but with this new YouTube policy now in effect, I'm going to have to change my own personal policy regarding doing occasional toy reviews for this channel in the future. From now on, I will only review a mass-produced toy made for children under the following circumstances. 1. It is a toy that used to be popular years ago, but it is no longer being produced, and it can only be found on eBay or in places like yard sales or thrift shops. One example is Chrissy, a line of growing hair dolls that were put out by the Ideal Toy Company, but the company has since gone defunct, and new Chrissy dolls haven't been produced in decades. 2. It is a certain toy that has a WTF quality that I literally can't resist making a video of it. One such example was a pole dancing doll that was produced in 2009 by an Asian toy company, and it was actually marketed to children. If I had heard of this doll sooner, before it was withdrawn from the market, I definitely would have made a video about it for the laughs. 3. The toy in question has gained a certain amount of notice in the mainstream media, and it has produced some controversy among adults. The doll that I am going to discuss today falls into this third category. Parental advisory notice. Even though the doll in question is made for children, I plan on discussing more mature issues relating to LGBTQ, transgender, gender identity, gender fluid, androgyny, and other issues. If you're a parent who's uncomfortable with letting your child hearing me speak about this, I suggest that you stop this video now and move on to a different YouTube video that is more age appropriate for your child. So I decided to go outside because it's a relatively balmy day for February in the Washington, D.C. area. Before I go on to talk about this doll that I recently purchased, I'm going to talk briefly about how I became aware of transgender people and their struggle to be accepted by the greater society. I was born a biological female. My family and the greater society considered me to be a female. I don't recall ever thinking about the possibility that I was a male stuck in a female body. I basically thought of myself as a girl, which conformed to both my biological body and society's designation of me as a female. When I was growing up, the only times I ever seen anyone cross gender lines were in comedy shows. I used to see Flip Wilson when he dressed as a sassy, outspoken woman named Geraldine Jones. I remember seeing members of the all-male Monty Python's Flying Circus dress up as women for various comedy skits. By the time I was a teenager, I heard about a British person who was born a man named James Morris, who underwent a sex change operation and became a woman known as Jan Morris, who subsequently wrote a book about her experience. I remember thinking, whoa, people can actually change their gender? I found that idea totally mind-blowing, even though I had zero interest in ever changing my own gender. The issue came up again soon afterwards when a female tennis player named Renee Richards was banned from playing professional women's tennis after officials learned that she was originally born a man, but she had a sex change operation. She filed a lawsuit in an effort to continue playing tennis as a woman. Even though I found it mind-blowing to read about people like Jan Morris and Renee Richards, I didn't have any first-hand encounters with transgender people until I was well into adulthood. My then fiancé and I had joined a Unitarian Universalist congregation shortly before we got married in that faith. About a year later, a longtime member had come out as gay. He and his new same-sex partner became activists when they made an effort to educate various Unitarian Universalist congregations, including our own, on how they can be welcoming to LGBTQ people instead of just paying lip service to that community. They embarked on this in an era when AIDS was decimating the gay community in large numbers, while the election of Ronald Reagan and the rise of the religious right had prompted a conservative backlash against the LGBT community in general. Their efforts to make our congregation become more welcoming to LGBTQ people resulted in a person who felt comfortable enough to join our congregation. Her name was Lee, and she was originally born a man. She gave talks to our congregation on how she struggled for many years with the feeling that she was a woman, even though she was biologically a man. Lee was the first openly transgender person I've ever met, and it was through her that I've learned a lot about what it's like to be a transgender person. Thanks to knowing Lee, my then husband and I were better able to accept something that really hit close to home. When we got married, we did all of the traditional wedding things, including having the bride remove her garter belt and throw it at a group of all the unmarried men at the reception. The man who caught it was one of my husband's longtime friends from his childhood. My husband and I lost contact with a friend for a number of years. One day, the friend called our home out of the blue, and the friend told my husband to check the website of a consulting company that the friend had recently started. My husband went to the website, saw a photo of the friend who now had female features and had adopted a female name. That was how my husband found out that the friend was now a woman. We saw the friend in person soon afterwards, and we had a talk about what had happened over the past few years. We learned that, like Lee, the friend had long felt like a female who was born in a male body. We were able to accept the friend in her current form, and I think it's due to the fact that we knew Lee. If that friend had been the first transgender person we'd ever met, we would have probably eventually accepted her, but there probably would have been more awkward situations due to not knowing any transgender people. Lee passed away a few years ago, but she was instrumental in having our congregation learn to accept transgender people. There is a member who originally joined our congregation as a biological man, but had long struggled with gender dysphoria that became so bad that the therapist recommended undergoing a sex reassignment program. That member has seemed much happier since transitioning to being a woman. More recently, there is a couple in our congregation whose child has come out as transgender, and they have accepted that child as a female. Not long afterwards, our congregation participated in the annual Transgender Day of Remembrance, where the church had a special service dedicated to transgender people who violently lost their lives across the United States over the past year. More recently, last summer, I made this documentary about a transgender Madonna fan called Madonna Girl Dale, Last Dance in Brooklyn Park, which was about her last street performance before she decided to move to Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Thanks to people like Caitlyn Jenner and Laverne Cox, transgender people are more openly living their lives than ever before, while more and more people are gradually starting to accept them for who they are. Mattel decided to take a risk by releasing a line of gender-neutral dolls called a Creatable World. These dolls had received a lot of publicity last fall when they were announced, and they had garnered its share of controversy. During the recent winter holiday season, one could only purchase these dolls online, and they only came in a deluxe package, which cost $30, but it included a lot of clothes and accessories. Last month, I happened to be in Target when I noticed that they were for sale. While the store had the $30 deluxe package, just like the online store, Target had also had some cheaper packages, including one for $12.99 that only had a doll, one wig, and one gender-neutral outfit. They also had clothing packs for $9.99 each, plus a larger clothing pack that cost $20, but it had 70 different clothes and accessories, such as shoes. Okay, so it's time to break into the bags and see what I have. And I'm gonna put this in here, and okay, and ta-da! Here is a Creatable World doll from Mattel. I found this at Target for $12.99, which you basically get the doll, one wig, and a default outfit, which is what the doll is wearing. It's got a pretty nice package. It says here Creatable World. And then it shows like how this picture showing you how you can put the wig on the doll, and then it gets shows you like some of the possible looks you can get you can achieve with this doll. The one interesting thing is that most dolls, they generally tend to come with a name, but this one doesn't have a name, which is interesting. Instead, you just have this at the bottom right corner. It says it CS-619. So I think it's kind of like Mattel's way of like making it even more open-ended, so that the doll owner would name the doll instead of like having the manufacturer provide the name. So I think that's kind of a cool idea. So anyway, I'm going to twist it to the side, and okay, and then here's one side, and it's has Creatable World, and there's a little map thing. That's doll plus wig plus clothes equals 100 plus looks, and then plus there's also the photo of the doll that I have in the box, which is who's basically a Caucasian doll with reddish brown hair. And I'm going to twist to the back, and here's some more information about this doll, and it says here, create your characters again and again, and it's just the dolls plus the wig plus the clothes, and this shows the entire line, which basically, as you can see, the doll comes in a variety of skin tones and hair color and eye color. So that's kind of cool. So theoretically, a child could pick a doll that looks most like him or her. And then it says here, other dolls in fashion not included. Dolls cannot stand alone. Okay, that's good to know. And then this one here has like, lists of like some of the other products that are available in this line, which includes other dolls, other clothes, etc. And then I just twist on the side, and here's a bigger picture of the doll with Creatable World. So so like I said earlier, this doll retails for $12.99 at Target. So I think it's time for me to dive in and see what's inside. I got phase one of the unboxing done. Was really amazing that the doll is really easy to remove from the box compared to other toys that I've removed in the past, especially like the Monster High and Ever After High dolls. They had like so many different twist ties that were attached. It just took forever to free the doll from the packaging, and this one was, this is really, I just pulled it out of the box, so and I got a feeling that I'll probably, just 2 pieces of plastic holding it in, so I think unboxing this doll is going to be a real breeze. So I was proven right. There was only one piece of plastic that held the doll to the base, but otherwise it was really, the unboxing was really easy, which I really like. And here's the, okay, so this is the doll in the default mode, and this doll has short hair. So if you want to make make it into, make it, I think I'm going to use I think for this doll, I'm just going to use they, them as a pronoun, because that's a common pronoun that a lot of transgender and gender fluid people tend to use for themselves. So I'm going to use they, them. Anyway, they have, really short hair. So it's like you can either say they is a male, or they is a female with a butch haircut, which I think is kind of cool. And it comes with, it wears a default outfit, which is, basically gender neutral. There's, it's not bad. I mean, but, which is okay looking. It's a little bit on the bland side, but it looks okay. So I'm going to pull out, so I'm going to put this, and here's a wig. So I'm going to see how easy it is to put the wig on the doll. And can I do this with one? Okay, so let's see how easy it is to put this doll. That's... Oh, actually, I could, theoretically, I could put the doll way back in the, or put the wig way back in the doll, and it looks like, they is wearing, a hairstyle that's straight out of the 1960s. Yeah, I do like the way the joints, the joints are a little bit on the stiff side, but I think it might be because I just, it's brand new. Their legs don't really come far apart very easily, so you can't really do things like splits. But it's got more range of motion than a Barbie. So, I think it's kind of nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to check out the clothes. Okay, so it's time to pull out the clothes here. Oops, did not mean to knock the doll over, but Target had like some clothes. I have to go with one of the smaller packs, which cost $9.99 each. Creatable World, and it says, once again, it says create your characters again and again. It says summer style pack. So that's what I picked. And as you can see, there's a whole variety of nice funky clothes. And some of them look masculine, and others look kind of feminine. But anyway, and here's the clothes. And what's really interesting is that, once again, at the bottom right, they don't really have names of the outfits, so you can only tell which outfit you have when you look at the bottom right. And this one's, it's known as SS-255. And so here's, I'm going to look at this is the side here, which isn't much. And yeah, that's, because this is a pretty thin box. And I'm going to look at let's look at the back here. This box pretty much resembles the box of the other one that contained the doll. So that's, it has create your characters again and again, and it shows like all the other kinds of clothes that I could buy. You could buy, like, and they mentioned other fashion packs, and yeah, the one that's everyday style packs. That's the one I saw at Target for, that was like $20, and it was like 75 plus looks. And then character starter pack, and yeah, and then there's also the deluxe character kits that are $30, but you get like tons of clothes. Anyway, I'm gonna open this up, and hopefully the clothes will be as easy to remove as it was for the doll. Okay, I stripped the doll off, and there's really nothing in, I mean, you can see an outline of a butt, and there's like something on the, it says here, there's like the serial number. It says here, it's in yellow gold, M43HF GKV40. I don't, maybe that's something, maybe that's a notation for the factory. Anyway, and there's something in the back. It says, it says copyright 2018 Mattel, and it says made in China. So anyway, yeah, so as you can tell, there's really, there's no genitalia, so, the doll could either be male or female. There's no indication of budding breasts, that would make them look feminine. So it's pretty much, if you want to make a doll male or female or both, it's like the sky's the limit. The only thing is that the waist, you can't really twist the doll at the waist. The waist is very stiff, but otherwise, it's got some pretty nice range of motion here. So anyway, now it's time to deal with the clothes. Removing the clothes from the box is just as easy as removing the doll from the box. So I have to congratulate Mattel for coming up with a packaging that makes it really easy to remove products. Yeah, like I said before, I've dealt with like toys stuck in the package with tons of twist ties and tons of string, and it takes forever to free the product from the package. But Mattel makes it really easy, and I think it's kudos to them. Anyway, since this is a summer style pack, it has summer related clothes, and there's a one piece swimsuit, and there's some sandals, and then there's it looks like a jacket of some, or a sweatshirt or a jacket, and then there's shorts or swim trunks, and there's also okay, so this is a beach blanket, for laying out in the sun. Oh, and there's also like a tote bag for carrying your... Oh, this is cool. It's like a plastic tote bag. Yeah, that is kind of cool. You can see right through it. Okay. Okay, so I just have them sitting on a blanket. And what I did is I put the one-piece swimsuit on, and then I put the shorts underneath. I have to admit, it is pretty cool. It is a pretty cool concept. Sometimes the clothes are a little bit on the stiff side, so you may have to like stretch it out before you can put it on the doll. But I think this is pretty cool and stuff. And stop falling over. I think it's got a lot of potential in terms of play for children. If you have a child who's currently struggling with gender identity issues or has indicated that he or she may be transgender, I think this would be a good doll to buy for the kid. And as for, children who don't have such issues, I think it still has merit, because I think most kids who are secure in their gender identity and know who they are, they probably would treat this doll as a sort of thing where they might either designate it as either a male only or female only, or you might have a very creative child who one day the child might decide that the doll is a boy, and the next day the doll is a girl. Or if you have a child who's like more androgynous, might have the doll dressed like in a mix of male and female clothes. I think this doll line has a lot of potential. The only hurdle is, will enough people agree with me to buy this doll and give it a chance? Anyway, oh, what the heck? Yeah, let's see how... Oh, yeah, the wig, it's easy to get the wig off, too. So if I want the doll to have short hair again, then I just take the wig off. So anyway, that's pretty cool. Okay, so I got the Creatable World doll next to a Barbie, which makes sense because since Barbie is Mattel's flagship doll line and Creatable World is being released by Mattel. Anyway, this Barbie is a fashionista Barbie who just happens to have more joints than a usual Barbie. But she has a typical, thin body with, large breasts, just like, a typical Barbie doll. So I'm going to attempt a clothing swap. As you can tell, the Creatable World doll is shorter than the Barbie. So it's going to be really interesting to try a clothing swap. The one thing I do know is that they probably won't fit into shoes because she has high heels. Whereas the Creatable World has the flat, has flat feet. But, I might try the other clothes and see what happens. Okay, I'm trying to pull, trying to pull the swimsuit up. And I can't really get the swimsuit up beyond a certain point. So I don't think Barbie can wear the Creatable World clothes. Anyway, let's try the Barbie outfit on the Creatable World doll and see what happens. I was able to get Barbie's dress on the Creatable World doll, but unfortunately this dress is very baggy. Look at this. It's first of all, Barbie has breasts, whereas this doll doesn't. But even without the breast problem, it's just very loose and baggy. So yeah, I just don't think the Creatable World doll can fit Barbie clothes. I know Barbie has a younger sister named Skipper, but I don't really have a Skipper doll to try out. So, it's possible that this doll might fit a Skipper clothes, but I don't have a Skipper doll at the moment. I was going to try this doll with Ken, but there's no way, because I think the Creatable World doll clothes is going to fit, won't even fit Ken at all. And, and this doll will probably be swimming in Ken clothes. So the bottom line regarding Creatable World doll is that I think this line has a lot of potential. And I really like how Mattel is, make it palatable not just to people who are struggling with gender identity issues, but, to people who love dolls in general. I think it would be really cool if Mattel comes out with more packs like reflects interests that both genders can identify with. I was thinking like, maybe a soccer pack where you have a soccer ball and your usual soccer uniform. Or maybe a figure skating pack where you have a feminine skirt and leggings, which is what, male figure skaters typically wear. I mean, the sky's the limit for this line of dolls, and I really hope that this takes off, because I think having a doll that fosters open-ended creativity, I think it's an idea that whose time has come. If you like this video, please feel free to hit the like and share. And if you want to see more videos from me, hit the subscribe button to my Sagittarius Dolly channel. So anyway, that's it for now, and have a good day.